That's one of my favorite action films, dude.
I need to see that again here soon. It's been quite a while since I've seen it.
I love the prison scene. I love it all.
It's weird.
Dude, I watched a really weird movie with him called, it was like one of his first movies. It was called Vampire's Kiss.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah,
and it was like, it's that one, like the meme of him where he's like looking across the table. But like this dude like ends up going to a club and he meets up with it, like hooks up with this like freaky chick, and she's like pretends like she's like a vampire or something, and she like bites his neck, and then he has like a run-in with a bat that gets into his apartment. So this dude thinks he's like turned into a vampire. So like the whole movie is like him like starting to like mentally like think he's turning into a vampire and starts doing vampire things. And it's just like it's a bad movie, but it's so entertaining because of the performance he gives, and it's definitely worth to watch. But yeah, it's so weird. It's a bad movie, but
it's one of those movies that are so bad they're good. I mean, we all have those movies.
Speaking of which,
speaking of which,
I was gonna try to do that more seamlessly, Evan, but all right, if we just want to throw it out there.
Awkward transition.
Figured you get my hint, but like, all right.
Well, yeah, that's not one I had on my list, but yes, that is a good example. Is Vampire's Kiss.
Vampire's Kiss.
I have any other ones?
Oh, I have a whole list of them I made of ones I like, but you guys can go ahead if you'd like. You can share.
I mean, there's like the famous ones where you got like The Room and stuff, where it's just so funny, like how absolutely awful. Have you guys ever seen The Room?
Yes, I have. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't figure you guys even hear of it.
It sounds familiar.
You've
probably seen the Disaster Artist previews.
Exactly. Like, Seth Rogen and James Franco came out with the Disaster.
Oh, okay. I know what movie you're talking about. I haven't seen it, but I've seen like clips of it on some videos somewhere. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It is absolutely terrible. But
it is. But it's funny because of how terrible it is.
Did they try to do that, or was it just
no?
This guy, dead serious.
Yeah, this guy thought he was making like the next like Titanic, dude. He thought he was making a great movie. Tommy Wiseau is his name, I think.
Yeah, he's out there.
He's a character, man. But oh well, I mean, he made a movie that is still around today, you know.
Yeah,
if it can be memed, you made it.
You made it,
man. Memed. They made a movie about the making of the movie.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's when it's bad.
My movie that everybody thinks is bad that I do think is good, and I could probably think of a few, but the fourth Aliens movie, Alien Resurrection. Third?
Yeah.
Like where they're in the prison. Yeah. Like it's not good, but I like it, man. I've always liked it my whole life, you know.
Like the only part I don't like about it is just like that weird hybrid alien at the end, like the
but it is cool.
Nobody likes
when they shoot the little hole and it like gets sucked out through that little top. There's like a little hole in the spaceship and it just gets sucked into it.
You see all like the blood and gut like splattering outside of the spaceship.
Skin gets like ripped off of it and it's like skull. It's like just a skull. Yeah, it's cool.
It's an entertaining movie.
Yeah, there's plenty.
I had one that was kind of like that. I have Batman Forever on my list.
Oh yeah,
people hate on Batman Forever. I love Batman Forever.
I didn't know that was considered. I know Batman and Robin's considered bad.
Yeah, I mean, the general consensus is Batman Forever is not liked, but
Batman and Robin's not that bad either. I liked that as a kid too.
Yeah, I did too.
It's definitely one of my least favorite Batman movies, but like, doesn't love a good ice pun, you know?
That bar's pretty high, so
it's like, man. Oh yeah,
Batman Forever was always one I just like always went back to, just because like Jim Carrey's in it, like hams it up as the Riddler, and like Tommy Lee Jones.
The one scene I'll always remember, and if you go back, you're gonna notice it once I say it, man. The scene where he's like in the sand after Two-Face shoots like the sand on him, and like he comes in and gets him, and he like Robin pulls Batman out. When he like jumps off that thing, dude, he looks like a midget Batman. He's like this compared to the screen. I'm like, they got a stunt double that was like 5 foot, dude. He is so tiny in this like shot.
I mean, some of the writing in it wasn't great either, because like immediately after he pulls him out, all Robin says to him is "Hey," and then it cuts to see "Hey."
And then, man, the writing in it is good because in the same sense when he like Robin drives the Batmobile and he's fighting all those neon guys, and he gets out of the Batmobile just as Robin. Nobody was like, "Aren't you the kid that Bruce Wayne literally just adopted?" There was like a news thing, like, and you're driving the Batmobile, like.
And then they're like on the news after they stop everybody eventually. They're like, wait a minute, I think I've seen that guy.
His whole family just died in a circus. Like, I think I've seen that guy.
It's definitely Dick Grayson.
Then as soon as you get that far, you're just like, didn't Dick Grayson get by Batman by Bruce?
Bruce Wayne's Batman. Media would have it figured out in like 2 days.
And something I never thought about as a kid, and we're just bashing it because of how bad it is. But something I never thought about is Dick Grayson is obviously like a 25-year-old adult. Like, why is Batman even adopting him?
Why is he adopted? Yeah, why is he?
What are you doing, man?
He's definitely in his 20s.
You just like bring
it's weird at this point,
man.
Yeah,
everybody
it's like those old '80s movies where you have like 20-something like year olds, like 30-year-olds playing high schoolers and stuff. It's
like all of Grease
to this day. Yeah,
yeah, Grease. Every single one of them in Grease.
30-year-olds.
Rizzo looks like she's like 40.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a couple of them had kids already.
Sidetracked, but Frenchie from Grease was one of my like big childhood crushes. Oh, I love Frenchie.
That
when she gets that pink hair, man.
Oh, even back hair did it.
Back then, I was like, ooh,
beauty school dropout.
You know, that's a song in the movie that I never liked as a kid, but I actually like it a lot now. Like, it wasn't when I watched it as a kid. I was like, it was one of those like parts where I wouldn't pay as much attention.
The only one I'm not big on is the one that Sandy sings. Like after like they make fun of her or whatever, she's outside and she's singing. That's the one I.
Oh, the slower one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one I really would skip.
I like
not Alex. He's like, I love
single one.
I jammed Grease.
I love them all now. Like I liked them all as a kid, but now I like all of them equally.
I can't. I mean, even. I'll tell you the truth. My least favorite, and I'm not saying I don't like it. I love the song still. Is Grease Lightning, just because I've heard it more than anything ever. But I love Grease Lightning, so I'm not sitting here saying I don't like it.
What about you,
Vern? Probably like the second most popular song.
You like?
Bad movies that I like?
Yeah.
That are
the only thing that I mean, like, you know how there's usually those cheesy action movies that are like not very that good, but they're like just action.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, like of recent memory, like one of the recent ones, is Skyscraper with The Rock. That shit is crazy.
I've never even hanging there on the ledge.
It's crazy, bro. I watched it just being like, I need to see this, like because it's like Angel Has Fallen, White House Down, like stuff like that. Like I love shit. Like I love it. I love it all. Like those are my type of movies. But that Skyscraper movie is crazy.
Dude, me and you, Vernon, stuck with Fast and the Furious for probably much longer. Yeah. It was good, man.
I was thinking Fast and the Furious also, but I have given up on them. And we've covered that in a previous one. Like, I've given up on Fast and Furious just because it's gotten a little bit too ridiculous. But maybe I'll give it another chance. I haven't seen
action movies now are back at the point where they were in the 80s, where it was just like every single one's trying to top the other one.
I love it.
Where they're like, put more money into it. Bigger, better explosions, crazier stuff happening.
Dude, that's how you get good movies, man.
Yeah,
like, I had another one too, and this is more personal. Everybody always shits on Thor: The Dark World. Okay,
that is bad.
I like it. I think I just like Marvel movies so much that I see that movie, I'm just like, there's a couple things wrong with this movie, but like, it's not bad.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
It's not as bad as Iron Man 3.
Compared to all, I like that one too.
It's so bad. It's so like plot pointed. Like it ruined.
It's a little all over the place.
I love
half hours of Iron Man, and I'm like,
I love an Iron Man 3 where they shoot him with all the missiles, and he comes out and he's like, you know, he's glowing and he's whatever. And then their next genius plan is to put the suit on him and blow the suit up. I'm like, why did it work that time? Like, why did the explosion work that time? Like, same thing.
Just don't think about that. Don't worry about that.
The suit exploded differently than the missile.
It was a different explosion.
It was a different explosion.
They could have they should have made it like freeze him or something. That would have made more sense.
Yeah, I don't know. He wasn't that great of a villain anyway. It was a shit villain.
It was a shit villain.
So like that movie,
most like solo movie villains other than Thor.
But Thor: The Dark World, I think, gets shit on at this point just because it gets shit on. You know what I mean? People give it too much. I'm like, it's not like,
it gets shit on because it is one of the worst Marvel movies, but that's still saying it's still a good movie. Like, being the worst of something that's the best is
just like the Batman.
You know,
yeah,
it's just like Justice League movie that just came out. I'm not saying it's a great movie, but come on, it's not that bad. It's fine.
Entertaining.
It's a popcorn flick. Put some like shut your brain off for fucking an hour and a half and watch a Batman movie.
Right.
We don't got to compare everything to Endgame.
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
you don't get a movie like Endgame and stuff every so often. They don't come around all the time.
Exactly.
Man,
I got tons of actually bad movies that are like, and a lot of them I don't want to say because I know you two aren't big horror people, but me and Wyatt probably talk about this subject for real.
There's a lot of bad horror movies all the time. I love bad horror movies
that are not good. That I'm like,
I'm gonna say when it comes to horror movies, one of my biggest gripes with them is that the movie itself isn't bad, but the endings can never explain it well enough to justify what the hell just happened.
I think the general thing is like a lot of horror movies.
They just
I don't know if they're technically made to be good in a way. They're there just for entertainment value. It's not there to be like, you're not supposed to be like, oh, that was like amazing story, man. That was like one of the best movies of the year. Like, I don't go into a horror movie expecting that. Like, I just go in there for like the body count, the kills, and like shit that looks cool, you know, the gore.
I hate horror movies, and they get the biggest deduction for me when they don't explain enough. Like, I need to know why and like
like why is this happening?
Exactly.
I don't care what's happening. Why is it happening?
Yeah, like if you just have like a and I'm just gonna use Chucky's example. Like if you just had him running around killing people, like that's not as entertaining as like. I need to know like what happened, how did he get here, what was the scenario?
Unless it's something you're like you don't really show throughout a whole movie. It's like. I don't know.
I can do a build up.
Sometimes it works.
Like The Quiet Place, they didn't really explain the villain, but they weren't like.
Yeah, they didn't at all.
But you know.
Well, yeah.
It's aliens.
Yeah.
Well, that's what a sequel's for, though.
But yeah, but like defeating them, like they were still out there though at the end of the movie. You know, like they were still, like the movie really didn't like they didn't defeat or this thing isn't gone. Well, it's just the ones that were their threats, like the ones that were threatening them were gone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I gave that one a pass.
There's even some movies I like. You guys probably never seen it, but like you look at like Phantasm and stuff. Like it's a good bloody, it's a good bloody killer movie. But they go into like that different dimension and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, none of this is explained. This dude was just like a killer dude with his little death ball, and like none of this is explained.
I just watched the first two of those a couple weeks ago.
They're good movies. I like Phantasm, but like. Nothing's explained, man. I don't know. It's one of my pet peeves. I like things to be explained. That's why
every horror movie can be Hereditary. It's okay.
I'd never even seen that. No, more like I like the reason I like Friday the 13th and Halloween and all those like Nightmare on Elm Street, all those sequels, because they've had so many movies to kind of build.
Yeah.
I feel like I know the character. I know the like thing, the motives and stuff like that.
Know,
I like,
you know what to expect. Kind of like to a point.
There's like an established lore, at least a little bit. Like,
man, it just why you gotta make me think about Halloween? Shit getting they be talking about it or at least like a little info here and there, and I'm like, I don't want to hear this shit. You delayed it for a year.
You waited for Game of Thrones season 8 for how long?
Yeah,
I did.
To be disappointed.
And look, but I don't think this is gonna be a letdown.
Exactly. It'll be worth the payoff.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
I have a couple. But my big two are more so like, not that one's kind of a bad movie. My big one's a bad movie, but they're more so like, I like this over this. That's either something that's comparable or a remake. So,
sure.
First though, I want to say I like Spider-Man 3. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna move on.
Spider-Man.
I know. Well, you guys are talking about like Iron Man 3. I'm like,
more. I got what you're saying.
No, I don't like it more. No.
You just like it.
No. I just like it.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I like Ants over A Bug's Life. That's another one. Yeah.
I do. I'm with that.
Thank you.
What?
I like A Bug's Life.
Which one has the scene where the dude like is talking about the seeds, and he breaks the thing off, and it floods the whole bar with like full. He's just talking about like if you let one, then they know, and they all come. You know what I mean? Like he's having that real big speech. I think it's ants.
No, Bug's Life.
I think it's Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's the one I fuck with then.
In it, man, and he's like flipping the axe.
Bug's Life's the one I like.
Yeah, I really like that one.
We're divided. That's okay.
No, I like both of them, but I think Ants is underrated.
I think, yeah. I mean, they're both. I don't remember exactly the story, but one of them definitely ripped off the other one. Well, they were working together, and then someone like left the studio. I forget which one was. Either way,
on the Spider-Man topic too, man. I mean, while we're on it, I like Amazing Spider-Man. I think they're fine movies. Like I know they were hated. Like,
they were okay.
Like, oh my god, and I'm like, this is fine. Like I like especially the first one. I think's fine. Like it's just a darker take on Spider-Man. It's more human. And I'll tell you what. And I might be biased because I think Emma Stone is adorable. So like just her chemistry with Andrew Garfield through the whole movie. Like it's entertaining to watch. Like I don't mind. Tobey Maguire not being Spider-Man is not as interesting to me as Andrew Garfield not being Spider-Man. He just felt like a more fun character. Where Spider-Man 2 is arguably the best Spider-Man movie, even over these ones, which are great too.
That Spider-Man 2 is really good.
Spider-Man 2 is awesome. Just Doc Ock's great. Just everything's great.
The game was really cool too.
It's definitely more comic booky, which is fine too. But like. I don't know. The Amazing Spider-Man to me is just a more serious kind of like dark take on it. You know, there's some actual issues in it. So, anyways,
what was your other one, Evan? Was that it?
All right. So the big one that I have is I don't know, and I'm not saying it's a better movie. I just enjoy it more. So when I say this, because it sounds like it sounds stupid saying it, but I like the remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory better.
Oh
than the
my god! I just had this argument with Marissa. You're so wrong. No.
I'm not saying it's better.
Turn them off.
I enjoy it more. I'm not saying it's better. But
sorry, Evan.
I knew why it would
been over. You gotta.
And then you're gonna have to go into a back seat. You're just gonna be editing.
It was nice to have Evan as a guest on the podcast today.
Listen, not only. And listen, I guess this is the point of this is not only do I think it's vastly inferior, I don't even think the Johnny Depp one's good. Like, I don't think it's even an entertaining.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch
I don't ever want to watch it again.
I laughed the whole movie, and it's when he runs into the invisible elevator a few times. That's the only time I laughed in that whole movie. And the rest of it, I was like, this is dumb. And I just didn't like it.
I mean,
Charlie, I was the same way.
The whole thing in general, like Uncle Joe is an asshole. So, but he's less of an asshole in the remake. So, you know, there's that.
I don't know. I just feel like the original had like,
or Grandpa Joe, not Uncle Joe.
For lack of a better term, like it had a whimsy about it. It was like, it was like, I don't know. It was
more. Yeah, I'm not saying it was better. I enjoyed it more. You know,
I just felt like Tim Burton's one was like a typical Tim Burton, where it was like, it's dark, bleak, like, and it's just, I don't know, it had no soul.
It's just weird.
It had no
soul. It's exactly like his remake of Alice in Wonderland. Like it's just
I wouldn't.
It's just visual to be visual.
And Willy Wonka had like little pygmy slaves that he had, and Tim Burton.
That was weird.
I'll give you. I'm not cool with this.
That was weird. They didn't even go.
Oompa Loompas are slaves no matter what.
But they're made up. You just got like
in the original movie, they're made up fictional characters.
They're made up orange people, but in this one, it's like little pygmies that he said.
He literally took them.
He went to the rainforest. He's like, "Hey, come work for me.
Take for me. I'll give you chocolate."
Yeah, that whole scene where he's like getting the seeds from everything. Like, you're right.
Yo, and but after generations of feeding them chocolate and candy, that's their whole diet. Like, they just don't grow.
That's the tallest they get now. He did that. It's like how we make dogs.
And then Willy Wonka had daddy issues.
Oh, dude, it's not a good.
It was weird, man.
I should go and rewatch.
I didn't say it was better. I didn't say it was written better or visually better. I just enjoy it more. I don't know why.
Hey,
and I even saw the original first, man. So it's not like it's one of those.
Weird.
So
it's weird.
That's a polarizing.
I like them both. I do like their opinion.
I do like the original better, but I've seen the new one more than like just once. I've seen it a couple times.
Yeah, I think I saw it maybe twice.
I've seen it.
I had it. I actually don't do
because it used to be on TV and like I would just like catch parts of it. Just like I mean, I've definitely seen it a couple times, but like I would prefer original personally.
I feel like I watched it when I was a kid and didn't like it, and then like I revisited it maybe as like a young adult or a teenager and was like, oh no, I still don't like it. It's still not very good.
I don't like this.
Listen, there's plenty of movies I watched like as a kid that I didn't like, and then like I had to revisit them.
Yeah.
Some movies I watched as a kid and I watched it older, and I'm like, why did I watch this? This sucks.
Yeah, nostalgia sometimes gets you. I recently watched the Goonies. I think I actually talked about this. I recently watched the Goonies with my kid, and I loved it as a kid, and I still do love it. It's a great movie, but like I do understand people's complaints where it like every scene is just these kids yelling at each other. Like there is no like dialogue. It's just like them in a room just yelling at each other. Just like there's so much noise in that movie at all times. And I'm just like, Jesus, man. But, like it's still a great movie. It's one of my favorites.
It is a good movie, man.
I just thought of another one.
Watch it sometimes, man. It's a lot of noise. A lot of noise.
I just thought of another one though. A movie like that I loved as a kid, I still love now, but like watching, I'm like, whoa.
Like, what was it doing?
Space Jam.
Oh, yeah.
Like honestly, as much as I love Space Jam, like it's like, but it is a kids movie, so I mean, but
that
like
last act though of like the game is dope. But
that's where it's like real.
Yeah.
Like beginning scenes and like it's just kind of baseball.
Yeah.
I love Space Jam.
Another one I have on here. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I think Alex might have seen it. Is Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh yeah,
Tom Green movie. You like it? Like, dude, I think it's hilarious.
It's funny. I feel like I've heard of it.
Tom Green humor.
It's heralded as one of the worst movies and probably grossest movies.
It is gross.
It's just like dumb, stupid humor, but it's like it's not like Scary Movie 4 or 5 stupid humor. It's like weird humor. It's like something you would see on like 2 a.m. on Adult Swim humor or something.
Oh god,
like Eric Andre type humor, but
it's Tom Green type humor. Yeah. Where he's getting into dead moose and shit, like just absolutely outlandish shit. You're just like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? I don't know. Like I have seen it.
Chick that's paralyzed and she gets him to like crack her in the legs with a cane, like during sex. It's like, bro, there's so many weird parts.
He flips the dad's house upside down and he puts it in like the desert. Like, how'd you even?
How'd you even do that?
Well, he like the whole thing, like premise is such a simple. He's just like a comic illustrator and he like tries to pitch this as like a TV show, and then he ends up getting it made and he makes all his money, and that's when he takes his dad's house in like the middle of the desert.
And he just tortures
the whole movie is like him like pissing his dad off at like the whole movie, and his dad is the boss from Men in Black. So he's like, what the hell are you doing? Just like screaming out of the movie.
It is that is a very acquired taste type of movie.
He's standing in the shower in a scuba suit, and he's like, I'm looking for doubloons. And he's holding like a bar of soap.
It sounds like the way you're describing it, it just goes from like here to here to here to here. Like
it does, man.
That's what it seems like. It's just like they just found like a bunch of ideas and like, how can we fit this in some sort of narrative of just these random set pieces and ridiculous things. But yeah, it's a terrible movie, but I think it's funny.
Listen, you guys actually might know Tom Green, but not know that you know Tom Green.
I know who he is.
Yeah, he's in the one Eminem song, Hi My Name Is, where he's like, it's not cool for me to swear, but it's cool for Tom Green to hump a dead moose. My bum is on your lips. My bum is on your lips.
I've seen his like street stuff. Like where he walks around the street. Yeah. I just never seen that movie, but I know who he is.
It's a wild
I know his humor. You know what I mean? But he's weird. Weird.
Definitely weird.
The only other one I had was Deep Blue Sea. I really like that movie.
Oh, is that considered bad? I like that movie.
It's a pretty bad movie.
I mean,
Hell yeah.
And the big and Sam Paxton.
Yeah, and Sam Jackson gives that big old speech, and then he's like,
"They ate me. Fucking shark ate me.
Fucking shark ate me." That's not even funny. But that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
A fucking
like
shark.
But yeah, that's not like a loved movie at all. But I think it's cool.
I liked it. I remember as a kid, I liked it.
Dude, I like for some reason I have this memory of like when it came out. It was like 99 when it came out, and I remember because like we were way too young to go see that. And I remember like back in the olden days when you look at the newspaper, you would have pictures of like the movies that are coming out. You'd have pictures of the movies that are coming out, like and the showtimes in the paper.
I remember that.
And like, oh, what time I want to go see a movie? Let's look in the paper. And they have this big. Yeah,
you know, like each tier would have its own section and show you what it's playing, and like I remember that shit.
And I remember vividly, like there was a picture for Deep Blue Sea, and it was like just the big ass shark mouth and the girl standing like in front of it, and I was like, I want to see this. It looks awesome.
I have to see this
because like I've seen Jaws and stuff at that point, but I was like, this shark looks huge.
I remember probably like one of my earliest memories of that movie per se is like watching it on TNT. Reruns,
they showed it all the time.
Yeah, I like because I don't remember seeing it like when I was younger like that, but like definitely by the time it was on TV, I remember like, oh, what's it? Like, whoa, this is crazy, you know? Just loving it.
I had to wait to see it though too.
Yeah, we were like 6.
Yeah,
we were real young.
Too young to watch that movie.
I have one more that I loved as a kid, and I couldn't tell you if it's still a good movie because I haven't seen it in years, but I did love it as a kid. And even as a kid, I knew I shouldn't be watching it, but I watched the shit out of Spice World, the Spice Girls movie.
I was talking over this with Brittany, and I was just like looking. I was just like looking up. I'm like, what are some bad movies? Like, because I don't really like. I haven't watched that many like bad movies, I feel like. And then I was like, oh, Spice World, and Brittany loves Spice World.
I love Spice World too as a kid.
See, that's something you've seen because you probably you grew up with sisters.
I grew up with sister, yeah.
Exactly.
I love Spice.
Bree wasn't into that kind of stuff, so
my sister was older.
There was no like access for me to even like see that movie or know about it.
Oh man, it's pretty fun. Oh,
I've seen it.
You've seen it? And he didn't go with sisters, he got it.
I've seen that shit.
It's fine. And a movie where we're kind of talking on Evans, where like I like the remake better than the original, and I know it's not as good, but I still like it better. I like Peter Jackson's King Kong more than the original.
Yeah.
What do you mean original? Like the old ones?
There's like two other ones.
I like them better than both. Probably both of them combined. I like Peter Jackson's one.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. That Rex's.
Yeah, I mean. I appreciate like old movies. I love old movies. I watch a ton of old movies.
What do you think about
Skull Island? It's not as enjoyable to watch.
It's like 3.5 hours long.
I like Skull Island.
You think it's alright?
I think it's better than Peter Jackson's though.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
and
oh man, I can't hear a new one.
And only because it doesn't like Skull Island's a great set piece and it's good to build the world and it's a fun movie to watch, but it doesn't have
movie.
Yeah, it doesn't have the whole like Beauty killed the Beast like scenario where he goes up. Like I need that in my King Kong movie. I need him to climb to the top of the.
There were two different types of movies.
Sure. And I'm not saying Skull Island's a bad movie at all. Like it's for what it's building up to, it's a great movie. It might be my favorite out of the 3 that are out right now. You know, like right now I haven't seen the.
I know what you mean.
That's probably the one I would go back and rewatch over the other one.
Over the other ones.
Yeah.
And I think
over King of Monsters?
Yeah, probably.
What?
Not that I dislike.
Oh, I meant as far as King Kong.
Oh, I was gonna say
King. No, I've rewatched King of Monsters already. That was.
Are you saying that's good? Yeah, no, it's good.
To me, probably that's the best one so far. Like, there's so many moments in that movie. I was just like, that's wild. Like, even down to the one little part where the flag just changes directions, and you're like, oh, like it's just a moment where, okay, like it was just put in there just to be like that. But like,
everything that like people were like, it was kind of missing from the first one.
They were like too much talking, not enough monsters. So they're like,
they got away from the fights and shit. So they're like, here's a ton of monsters and a ton of fights going on.
It's crazy. I like it.
Can't see shit because it's either dark or storming or snowing, but it's fine. monsters.
Yeah, I think that's there to like so the CGI looks a little better. Yeah,
and you have to. Nobody wants to see God. Everybody's like, why can't he fight on a daytime? Nobody wants to see Godzilla fight on a beautiful day, like out in the park, like
smiling, like.
It's a beautiful day for a fight.
Godzilla fighting like a storm and shit, you know.
Makes Barney in there too.
Of his tail, just waving at people. Just people crying in the background.
Trying to eat their picnic.
Steps in the ocean and just causes a tsunami that wipes out the whole city.